Once upon a time, there was a girl looking for a book. But what she would find would lead her on an amazing adventure. She got in her car and started off towards the first location on the map. Her first stop led her to a box. It was in the middle of a park near her house, but in a different direction that she did not go often. The box was decorated top to bottom. It had puzzle box written in paint, and in the box there was a giant puzzle and a couple of mystery books. She placed a Sudoku book inside the box and headed off to the next stop. She drove past a street that she took every day to get to school, but this time she was not looking for her typical school library. She was looking for her next box, the next free little library. Her second box was the pinnacle of New Orleans tribute. It was huge and decorated with painted flowers, alligators, and the state picture on the side. It was filled to the brim with romance novels and history books. Hidden deep in the back was a novel that the girl found interesting, so she traded it with an old copy of Utopia by Thomas More and a children's environment book. She continued on and found another box. With glass-tiled stepping stones leading the way, this box was bejeweled with the same pieces forming a picture of a tree and a bird. This box was full of mystery books which intrigued the girl. She wished she had brought more books from the car as she wanted to take them all, but she chose the two that piqued her interest and left behind two children's novels that she never did finish. On her drive to the next box, she wondered how many people had walked up those boxes, how many families these books in her car had been through. She thought about the new people who her old books were going to, and about the new neighborhoods she was visiting. Her next stop was near a cafe that she remembered going to for her birthday. This box was attached to a tree and was next to a sign that said love. The girl found a copy of Animal Farm and a self-improvement novel that she thought she would try. The box had a lot more children's books, so the girl left a Dr. Seuss book. She also noticed something interesting. If I had a nickel for every time I saw Sarah Denson's Lock and Key to Free Little Library, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. She walked through Herc City Park and past an art museum to her next box. She stopped near a bridge that she remembered being built when she was a young child. Near the water, this box was an almost identical copy of the house it was in front of. This box was completely full of New Orleans-themed books and historical nonfiction. She felt a little strange placing an old murder mystery thriller, but she took a book about a city she grew up in and continued on to the final stop. This final box was the first box she ever visited. It was hidden in vines and had an old wooden handle that made it look straight out of a fairy tale. It was adorned with new and interesting fiction books. She left her final mystery book and took a novel with a beautiful cover. Okay, so I just got back from the last one, and I'm just going to do a quick run through of some of the books that I got from the little library. So the first stop I made was Solving for Why, A Surgeon's Journey to Discover the Transformative Power of Purpose by Dr. Mark G. Schreim, MD and PhD. So I guess this is sort of like his, way of finding purpose in life, and I just thought it was interesting, so I picked it up. The next book that I got is We Now Return to Regular Life, so by Martin Wilson, and it's about this boy that's been kidnapped and then comes back after a couple years, and his family is desperately trying to figure out what happened, but he's very obviously affected by this traumatic event in his life, so I thought that would be an interesting read. Then I picked up Chopin's Life from the same box. This was definitely one of those where I was not sure, but it seems like a fairly quick read, and sometimes I just need that, and it involves espionage, so I was like, ooh, I might as well check it out. Interesting. Then we have The Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey, or The 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People. It was just something different, something about, sort of like a self-help book, but it seems really old and kind of cool, janky, but, and it has a hole in it, which is interesting. But yeah, so I picked up that one. Then at this other one, I found a copy of Animal Farm by George Orwell. I've never actually read Animal Farm, but I'm actually in the middle of 1984 right now. I cannot believe I haven't read that either. I've been trying to get into more classics, but I found a copy of this and I was like, I gotta give it a shot. It's a classic, Then I found The Insider's Guide to New Orleans third edition. It has a bunch of pictures and stuff in here. It shows up Mardi Gras and everything. So I thought that would be cool, just kind of something interesting. Maybe I can go around and learn more, because this video has definitely helped me get outside of my normal routes. And I've seen a lot of really cool places already in the city that I've grown up in. And then the final book that I just got was Saltwater by Jessica Andrews, and it's about this woman that is super close to her mom, and then her mom dies, so she goes on this journey to try and learn more about her mom's life, which I thought sounded really cool and interesting. Looking back on the day she had, the girl was full of so many emotions. All of the locations she visited were full of nostalgia, but also wonder. She thought about how she had always loved the city, but didn't often explore it enough. And she thought about how she couldn't wait for the next time she could open one of those wonderful boxes. Thank you guys so much for watching that video. I know it was a little different from the stuff that I normally do, but I want this year to try and do a bunch of different stuff and try and do a lot more, not challenges, but I guess just exploring my life a bit more. Self-improvement things and just things that I enjoy doing and sharing it with you guys, because I think that'd be fun. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification bell to know when I post a new upload. I'm trying this year to do weekly uploads, but we'll see how it goes. I have a lot of responsibilities, so I'm hoping that I can do weekly uploads this year. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!